It is a terrible thing when brother takes up arms against brother. The lands in the south run red with the blood of kings and their kin, whilst to the north the winds carry the bitter chill of war. Winter is coming, say the Starks, but they say nothing of the tempest that already dwells within their lands, a storm centuries in the making. Summer will end soon enough, and childhood as well. A sister lost, a brother returned, a family changed. In a time of turmoil, can they trust their allies? Can they trust their family? The North remembers, and the children of House Braddock cannot forget.
Hello and good evening, my friends, and welcome to a game of Quietus we're going to be playing here at Encounter Roleplay. I am Colin, I'll be your GM for the night, and here with me are two of my absolute favorite roleplayers in the world. This is going to be a little bit different. Normally I'd say this is the part of the show where we say who are you and who are you playing, but the really cool thing about this game is we have no idea who they're playing yet. We're going to find that out together before we even start. So, instead, we'll just stick with, who are you? So, up at my digital left, who are you?
I'm Anna. I use she, they pronouns, and I am at Nymeria941.
And Anna. You said your name was Anna?
Yes.
Are you ready to be scared?
I was like, yes. Yeah, always.
Yeah, I know you're always here for it. And with me also is my dear friend and someone who played with me through some creepy shit not long ago. Who are you, and are you excited?
Traumatized by that.
Oh yeah, totally.
I'm Quietus. I can be found at Magdalene Bloom on the Twitters, and yeah. This can't be as creepy as Japan, right?
I mean, unless we choose to set it in Japan, which I can do if you really want.
No.
That's okay. I think they have enough teeth and creepy ice cream for one Encounter Roleplay season. Give them some time to recover.
Mitch runs on it. We have to feed him every so often.
Yes.
Quietus is a game very much playing to see what happens. We're going to design our characters and our scenario right before your very eyes, and then we're going to play it out as I slowly torment these two until they either escape, die, or some awful something terrible in between. I mean, death isn't always the worst outcome. So, this game is inspired by certain types of stories in which we have some kind of things that you've probably seen in various horror films over the years. Movies like Final Destination, movies like even The Babadook, movies like The Strangers, which may all sound very diffuse, very different types of stories. But one thing they often have in common is that the characters in those stories, the protagonists, are undergoing their own dark personal struggles. They have deep depressions, they have deep scars, they have addictions, they have anxieties. They have traumas that bog them down in their lives, and then they must overcome them in order to face the horror. And that's what we're going to create today together in this game. We're going to take these two absolutely fantastic role players, and we're going to, on the fly, come up with characters for them, create a scenario, and then I'm going to torment them for a few hours until they either escape, one escapes, one dies, both die, both escape. Anything can happen. Who knows? This is a very rules-light game. It only uses regular old D6s, simple dice pool. 6s are good, 1s to 3s are bad, 4s to 5s are and there's very few, really only a couple stats to take care of, to keep track of. It's very, very simple. So rather than talk about numbers, let's get to the fun part, which is creating our characters and creating our scenario. Now, in order to save a little bit of time, we rolled behind the scenes in the green room just before this. So while we're not fully doing it live, we're doing it pretty close to doing it live. We rolled just to see what. There's a couple random tables in the book. We rolled on those tables just to see what's in each of their backgrounds, what trauma or pain is affecting them from their background, and we came up with two very interesting results. I'd actually like to start with Cadence. Cadence, what did you get when you rolled on that table?
Your mind was lost to addiction.
Your mind was lost to addiction. How charming. So these tables work. The first table is what was lost. The second table is how was it lost. So Cadence got her mind was lost to addiction. So that's where she's starting. Anna, what did you get when you rolled on these tables?
I got your body was lost to neglect.
Your body was lost to neglect. That's bad. Okay. So now that we have those really basic background facts about each of you, we're going to find out who y'all are. So I have a few questions for you guys that we're going to answer, and we're going to create our little scenario. I'm just going to take some notes as we go. I'll actually put them in chat so you guys have them in front of you. Take a few notes as we go. This will only take a few minutes, and we'll determine what's going on. So the first question for both of you is, the two of you are somewhere isolated. Where is it? And tell me about the place. So, what do we think? We have someone who is hopelessly addicted and to the point of losing their mind, and we have someone who lost their body through neglect. Where are the two of you right now? Your isolated location.
My first thought was a rehab center where maybe even both of us could get help with our problems.
Oh,
What do you
yeah.
got, Anna?
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
Yeah, you can rest and improve yourself, and I can get off the smack, as Colin so lovely put it earlier.
Sometimes you just got to get off the smack.
Yep.
And it's isolated. So what kind of isolation? Where is this place?
I think maybe it's like one of those places, the suspicious locations where they send the troubled teenagers or whatever. So I think it's out in wilderness somewhere. I think it's difficult to access either by vehicles. I think maybe there's limited phone internet, stuff like that, because I think that you can have geographic isolation, but I think if it's really isolated, it has to be a place where we have very limited contact with the outside world. So somewhere out in the boonies, but not totally off the grid, but I think it needs to have maybe like a landline somewhere, and that's it.
Yeah, that one phone that kids can use to make phone. Well, you got the troubled kid thing in my head, but that one phone in the hallway that everyone can use to make their one phone call a week or something like that.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
So it's in the middle
I
of
don't
the
think
sticks.
we're kids. I was like, I'm going to say I'm not playing.
I mean, you can if you want to.
Categorically,
yeah, you
I'm
can be
not. I would rather not
a
be
heroin
a kid.
addicted a kid on smack. Yeah, let's not do that.
I'm not going to be a kid in this game.
Yeah, no, that's not ideal. I would rather you didn't do, to be honest with you. So you're in the middle of the sticks at a rehab center. Let's say buried, deep off of a main road, back among the woods, back gated, fences surrounding it. That's also another form of isolation. It's a place that you're supposed to go and stay and not leave for a set duration of time, and it has limited cell reception and very limited ways to contact the outside world.
Yeah, they probably take our cell phones and stuff away from us too.
Certainly, yeah.
We wouldn't even
Yeah.
have that.
I think that, yep.
We sort of already answered this, but let's talk about it more. Why are you in such an isolated location?
Because sometimes
I'm gonna go first with
drastic-
Cadence. Yeah, with our addict. Yeah, why would you need to be here?
A drastic change of scenery out of the familiar is sometimes what you need to just jumpstart and solidify any recovery or whatever.
Yeah, and probably get away from some of the maybe harmful crowd you've been running in, perhaps. Cut off contact with some of the people that are not helping and enabling your addiction. Anna, what about you? I mean, what do you gain from being in such an isolated place? Is it just helping someone out? Is it your own issues?
I think, because part of the game is that we know each other in some way, I think
Mhm.
that whatever past history it is that our characters have together has at this point driven my character to the point of having a total physical breakdown. So just whatever it is that they share in common from the past has led my character to just try and push themselves beyond what is humanly possible for this other person. We'll figure out why that is later. But I think it was one of those, okay, you can go to this place and try to take care of yourself, or you can get admitted to a hospital and we'll do it for you kind of thing. So I think that the character is all right, I'll go do this under my own power, fine.
Okay.
So
yeah,
recovery under duress.
Recovery under duress. Yeah. A bit of convalescence, clear your head.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that bleeds into the next question. What is your relationship to each other?
Yeah, there's
can be related.
a number of
can be
ways
friends.
we can go. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no wrong answer to this one at all. Just has to be the kind of relationship where, to fit with the fiction that we've established, the kind of relationship where one person really would kind of sacrifice their own physical well-being to help the other.
What if we were sisters?
That makes sense. I think a family relationship makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the older one? Who's the younger one? Or are you twins?
Oh, let's be twins.
Yeah. Be cool.
Fraternal or identical?
Nothing bad ever happens when you send twins to an isolated place in the wilderness.
What? Are you guys identical twins?
I like that. I do.
I like it. What do you think?
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Whatever I'm sending at you may not be able to tell you apart, and that probably won't have any consequences. So we have identical. Ooh, I wonder if this has ever turned into a situation where one of you wants to go to rehab and or have you ever since one of you is an addict, I can totally see a situation where it's pretend to be the other one to get shit, to get money or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
When you that time you stole her debit card and went to the ATM, but no one knew because on the ATM camera it just looks like her anyway.
Then we have the same last name, presumably, so...
And you have the same last name.
All people ever really check when it's the ID, right?
Yeah. I mean, I love that. All right, so identical twin sisters. One of whom has lost her mind to addiction and one of whom has lost her body to neglect. So you've been going through a lot of shit to take care of your sister, Anna. Which leads into my next question. Why does it pain you to be here? And I'm going to do this individually. I'll start with Anna. Anna, why does it pain you to be here?
For the character, I think it's because I don't need to be. I was fine. I was taking care of things. It was all under control. Everything was going according to plan, whatever that was. And this is unnecessary. And why do people not think that I can take care of it?
So you think it was perhaps outside forces or maybe other family members, friends who were like, you really need to take care of yourself also. You're pouring everything into taking care of your sister. You need to take a breather and take care of yourself.
Yeah.
So it pains you to be here because you think this is a waste of your time, essentially, right?
Yeah, I don't think that I need to be. And I feel like it's doubting my capability to have people be like, no, go relax for a second.
And do you think, I feel like I know the answer to this, but I just want to hear it. Do you think your sister needs to be here? Anna?
Yeah.
Do you think your sister needs this?
I think yes, but I think where the disconnect is coming from is that, like, it's obvious that the sister needs this. It's not obvious to my character that they also need this. So yeah, I do.
But I guess what I'm thinking is because you said that you were taking care of it, that you had the situation under control, which I assume to mean taking care of your sister. Yeah.
I think it's just that, like, she knows that her sister needs help, so it seems less of like a dramatic change, you know. I think probably we've sought help for this sister character before, so that's somewhat familiar. So it's not
so
it's
not your
as
first
upsetting.
rodeo.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and it's so often, you know, if you're sent to the big rehab clinic in the middle of the woods, it's probably not your first go around with the whole rehab thing.
Right, exactly.
Which now I ask Cadence, why does it pain you to be here?
I know how much this is probably costing, and we don't have the resources for this, and I don't know how much we're going to go into debt for this, and it's ridiculous because I was doing fine at home. Everything's fine. It's just,
this is going to drain what little you have left.
Yeah, don't need to spend the money. Money can be used for better things.
Like what? Okay, so this is, so this is a waste of time and a waste of money as far as you're concerned. You don't need to be here. You have it under control. You can handle what you're going through on your own, and you don't need any fancy fucking doctor to help you out.
Yeah, my sister's doing fine helping me.
Ah, yes. So you're one of those. So haven't noticed the toll this is taking on her, from what I gather from that.
We're all fine.
Yeah. All right. A little self-absorbed. I like it. Anna, what's your name?
I think this character is I'm gonna call her Gina.
Gina. Cadence, what's your name?
I'm going to avoid the rhyming thing.
Or another G.
Rachel.
Gina and Giovanna.
Yeah, I'll go Rachel.
So that's a different name. I'll be confused.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Rachel. Old Rach. Anna, what do you look like? Excuse me, Gina. What do you look like?
Gina's got kind of the body of somebody that used to be very, like, athletic in high school and college, you know, maybe like did the whole cross country thing, was going out for runs and lifting weights and stuff, and you can still tell that was there, but over the years her form has become a lot more emaciated. Like, the muscles have atrophied. She doesn't really eat very well or very much. I think she's probably become more of the, like, person that is mostly just running on caffeine and nicotine at this point and is not actually consuming.
You started smoking?
Nutrition.
You're a former athlete and you started smoking too?
Yeah. This game is about despair, so we're leaning into that.
Yep.
I think that she's got kind of that that sort of like uniform thing going on where she's just kind of always wearing the same clothes, like black sweatpants, black t-shirt, because it costs too many brain cycles to pick out clothes to wear. And I think
Hair just
this
thrown
just
up in a
came to
bun or
me. I
something.
want there to be like I think maybe she's gone to one of those type of support groups that you go to when you have like a family member who's dealing with addiction, and I think she's got a rubber band around her wrist that she kind of like does those like stress relief things that they teach you at those with. So
Oh,
that's always
yes.
there. That's always there. You know, the like snap it against your skin thing, or just like
Mhm.
pull on it when you feel stressed, and she breaks them a lot. So she's got a lot of rubber bands
Yeah.
knocking around.
Cigarette hanging on the side of her mouth, sitting there continuously snapping at her wrist with this thing. Yeah.
Yep. Pretty much.
I like how you have the body of the former athlete who has atrophied, is basically what you said. So you have the female
nice.
equivalent of a dad bod, essentially.
Yeah.
But in but emaciated version, inverse, I suppose. Well, that's I can picture her very well.
Yeah, she just looks very stringy now. Where like once you can be very lean and muscular, but then like when you're not muscular anymore, you're just kind of beanpole-ish almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I feel like she's a scrunchy kind of woman. Like that. Like take a shower, put your wet hair up in a scrunchie, and like that's it. That's the whole. Yeah. Can definitely see this. Rough. And I'm also going to add to that, because you said you're kind of emaciated and thin, that you said you're on the uniform system, so you don't really shop for clothes very often. So you're still wearing the sweatpants and t-shirts that fit like 50 pounds ago. So they just hang off you like trash bag. It's not a good look. Cadence / Rachel, our resident addict. What do you look like?
I look like my sister. No.
Cheater. Cheating. I totally walked into that one too.
Yeah, probably very similar body, just because of being on drugs and not eating right and just not taking care of herself. But the hair, as I got this lovely wig on, it's just chopped it off myself, and it's all uneven and nobody cares.
Oh, you did a homemade haircut?
Yeah. Which I personally almost did last week. I was just tired of long hair. Just
So this is like just a pair of kitchen scissors and just
just hacked at it. But yeah, don't really care about clothes, just wear old flannel and whatever.
Don't take too much interest in your appearance, really.
Got more important things to worry about.
Like drugs.
Yeah.
So
And
probably
my
been wearing the
stories.
same clothes. Probably wearing the same clothes for a while. I mean,
Yeah.
you got holes forming, moth eaten, that kind of thing. Okay. My favorite detail definitely being the I love the kitchen shears to your head. I love a good hack job haircut. That's great. Okay. Next question. Okay, now we get back to the scenario. Something went wrong yesterday. What was it? Should be something obviously related to the scenario we're setting up here, related to this rehab facility you're going to. Something's gone askew yesterday. And I'm going to say, by the way, just so you guys know where you're at, you're not at the rehab facility yet when we start. You will be en route nearly there.
Okay.
So you're not there yet.
So it's got to be something pertaining to getting there.
Yeah.
Car trouble or just
Could be. It could be anything,
getting
honestly.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be.
ready somehow.
What
or...
if it's one of those things where like we're on our way there and it's just that like one thing goes bad after another, culminating in like a tire blowing out somewhere? and now we're gonna just have to hoof it to the place because we can't just call AAA or whatever, and that was the spare tire on the car that just blew. You know, just like that one damn thing after another, and then finally we got fucked
Roller
by
says in
that
chat,
spare tire.
What went wrong? Everything went wrong.
Yeah, exactly. More or less.
But you had a Murphy's Law. You had a Murphy's Law day.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
The travel here has been fraught. Yeah, as Charlie says, you get to the nearest gas station and it's closed. You run out of gas. You get to the nearest, you flag down a driver. You finally get a little bit. You get going again. The tire blows out. It's almost like
it's one of
the car is like telling you not to go there somehow.
Right. The weather is terrible. Yeah.
Just we can add to this as we go along, but I'm just going to say, yes, you've just had a host of travel problems. Everything, as Pope says, the car knows. Everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. You've run out of gas. You've had flat tires. You've had issues with the car not wanting to start because it's an old beat-up piece of shit, and it doesn't always cooperate. You've had to deal with
money on this.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, this is where your money's going. Yeah. All right. So that all went wrong. When we start, you're going to be getting very near the beginning. You're going to be very, very near the entrance or what have you to the rehab clinic. There should be someone else nearby. There should be someone else perhaps with you. Someone else maybe you're supposed to meet there. Someone else you're supposed to meet along the way. And they're not there. So who is it?
You said there was a gate around this place. Maybe the person at the gate isn't there.
Yeah, like the
somebody's supposed to meet when you check in.
Opens the gate and lets you in. They're not there.
Okay. Pretty person at the front gate is missing. The book actually says where are they, but I'm gonna figure that one out for myself. Thank you kindly. I'm gonna save that little one for me. Thank you.
Charlie said brown Camry in the chat. Can we make that the car, because that was also my first car ever, 1998.
A brown Camry.
Mm-hmm.
A brown brown cars in general. Brown cars in general are the universal sign of I've given up on life. So
that was my first car IRL, so it works for this game.
I'm not talking about my first car.
Chevy Nova.
Plymouth Barracuda.
I don't even know what that is, Cadence.
Okay, all right.
Flounder says powder blue Buick Skylark, which is actually not a car I own, but a car a friend of mine owned and I drove, and I actually blew up the engine, so I'm familiar with that. And finally, my absolute favorite question. I'm going to start with Cadence. Cadence, what are you most afraid of? That would be, excuse me, I need to make this very clear for the listener here.
Yes.
And for the viewer. Not Cadence. I don't want to know what Cadence is most afraid of. Doesn't interest me at all. I want to know what Rachel is most afraid of.
Feeling normal.
So not being high, essentially. Being sober.
Being just a normal, boring person.
Oof.
Just, yeah.
Itchy role players like these folks. That's that good. That's that real good. Okay. So being a normal square who's not tweaked out all the time is really your biggest fear.
Feeling real emotions.
Being a normie.
And...
Yeah, having to feel things. Having to deal with probably some of the bullshit that's in your head. Yeah. Have to feel her feelings. Yeah. So basically, yeah, everything that comes with having a clear head, which you so rarely have. And I'm going to say, because of that, because I don't want to inflict your fear on you immediately, I'm going to say that as we arrive at this rehab facility, you're going in there still a little tweaked. You still got some shit in your system. And if you want to introduce a truth later on into the game that you maybe even smuggled something in with you, you can do that. Totally doable. Anna, what are you most... again, I apologize. Gina, what are you most afraid of? I think Anna's actually most afraid of me asking what she's afraid of. When I think about it.
No, not really. I've just come to accept this as a phenomenon that exists in my life. It's cool.
It's part of our relationship.
Yeah, I think to contrast a little bit, despite the fact that it has been, at least a decade, probably at least 20, 25 years since she was last involved in anything meaningfully like physical, she's still got that old like athlete paranoia about, oh my God, I need to be careful of like my ACL, my Achilles, like what happens if my back goes out? What happens if I get this, injury that's gonna impact my chances to get a scholarship or my ability to go pro or whatever. I think she's like very afraid of physical harm that would get in the way of this athlete that she still kind of thinks she is.
Oh, look at you. That's good stuff. Mm-hmm. Still afraid of injuries, has that athlete's paranoia. And also, hi, Draku. Yep. We've been raided. We have been raided by our dear friend Draku. So good to see you. Thank you for dropping in. Thank you, raiders, for coming along. Much appreciated. And you got here just in time, Draku, because we're about to start in earnest. So we have created our scenario off the top of our noggins here. Nothing you see has been planned. Everything is going to be just made up by the three of us as we go along. We have created our characters. We've created our setup. So to recap, we have Gina and Rachel, identical twin sisters, who are on their way to a rehab facility. This is because Rachel has had a long-standing addiction. You don't have to say what it even is if you don't want to, but you have a long-standing drug problem, and Gina has been doing her best to keep things together, to keep the family together, to keep Rachel afloat, to keep her alive, at the expense of her own body. Gina has wasted away. She's in poor health. The once very fit, very athletic woman is now an emaciated wreck who just wears the same black sweatpants and t-shirt every day that hangs off of her like a trash bag, no longer takes care of herself at all, and yet still harbors a deep fear that something will go wrong with her already quite damaged body. For her part, Rachel has lost a decent part of her mind to her addiction. She is not fully in touch with reality at any given time, primarily because she's always a little bit high. And what she fears more than anything is that buzz will one day wear off. That she will find herself sober, alone, having to face everyone she's ever hurt, the consequences of her actions, having to feel all of the pain that she has been pushing down all these years through incessant drug use. And so, these two sisters set off in their beat-up old brown Camry, spending what little money they had left to their name in order to go to this very highfalutin, fancy sort of rehab facility in the middle of the sticks. Now, Gina doesn't think they need to be here at all. I mean, doesn't think that she needs to be here at all. I mean, her sister's the one with the problem. She's perfectly fine. She's been keeping it together. But no, they insist. It must be both of you. Now, when you spoke with the facility, they told you that they work on a model that is a holistic sort of recovery model, where we do not just treat the addict, we do not just take them away from the drugs and let them dry out, the kind of old school method to rehab. No, here we take a more holistic approach. We treat not just the person, we treat their surroundings. We pluck them from that destructive environment that they're living in, and we put them somewhere safe, somewhere they can't access drugs, somewhere where they can barely access the outside world. Cell phones are not allowed inside. There's only one telephone. There's no internet access. This is complete detachment. But the reason, what separates this model, I'm going to call this, I'm going to call it the Willow Creek Rehab Center, because I just watched the movie Willow Creek the other day and it's on my brain. Also kind of works for the setting you're talking about. Willow Creek Rehab seeks to not just separate you from environment, but also to bring the things into your environment that can help your recovery, like your family. Like your sister Gina, who has given so much to take care of you, who has put her body on the line. Thank you, Draku, for that donation. The charity much appreciates it. Thank you so much. Who has put her body on the line, who has sacrificed her personal life, sacrificed relationships, sacrificed friendships, in order to take care of you. She's become a physical wreck. And now, Willow Creek Rehab Facility offers an opportunity for both of you to get what you need. For Rachel, the opportunity to get clean. For Gina, the opportunity to breathe for a moment. To have Rachel, for lack of a better phrase, to have Rachel be someone else's problem for a little while. Allowing you to talk to a therapist, to eat better, to get proper sleep, to take back what's been lost in all these years that you've had to dedicate to sacrificing for your sister. It has been a miserable journey. Your beat-up car had every possible problem with it. You ran out of gas. When you finally got gas, you blew a tire. When you finally managed to get someone to pull over to help you change it, the spare was out of air. Eventually, you had to leave Camry with a sign on the window, saying you'd be back to claim it in a week. Just sitting at a gas station down the highway. And from there, you had to hoof it. And of course, naturally, it rained. That's where we are now. The two of you are walking through a winding, wooded road. On either side of you are forests. The trees are of essentially just pine trees. Very simple pine trees growing out of this arid soil. If anyone's familiar with the Pine Barren Forest of southern New Jersey, it's a bit like that. They say the Pine Barrens are enough to drive you insane. The trees are all equal height. They all look the same, and they're all equidistant from each other. So everywhere looks like everywhere else. There are no landmarks. It's very easy to get lost. And you likely would be, were it not for this winding paved road that you're traveling through the trees. There are some dim streetlights that are that hang over the top. They give off a orange glow. But it's late evening now in autumn. Blue hour. The sky is still illuminated, but the ground is dark. As the two of you trudge on through the rain, nearing the entrance to the facility, what are you talking about? And just before you answer that question, I want to give a quick shout out to Justin Doc Rimbo for his donation as well. Thank you so very much, my friend. So, what are the two of you talking about as you trudge down the road in the rain?
We can still turn around, you know.
We're not turning around. We have already gotten here this far. It's not going to be much longer. Look, if you really wanted us to turn around, then why didn't we do that all the way back at the gas station? We're already almost there. Besides, this place is kind of nice. I mean, it's been forever since I did like a real trail run, but it's nice. It's quiet out here.
Yeah, I don't trust the quiet.
But do you want to walk back to that gas station all by yourself? Because, look, they said that both of us had to go here at the same time, and I'm not fucking backing down from that.
I hate they. It's always they.
Yeah, me too. But, like, just do what they want, 7 days, get it over with, and then we can just go back to normal. Everything's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine, hon.
Sure.
And everything was fine. The end.
Game over.
As you trudge down the road, Gina, the rain just saturating your t-shirt and sweatpants, that just you can feel as you step, that wet socks and shoes just sloughing against the ground. It's a real downpour tonight. Your baggy clothes nonetheless cling to your body. Rachel, you can see, even in the dark, as Gina's t-shirt clings to her, you can see the outlines of her ribs poking through the fabric. You hadn't perhaps noticed that before, just how much weight she'd lost over the years, but you could see it now very clearly. Gina, you can see that the rain has saturated Rachel's hair. It clings to the side of her face. What remains of it, you can see that it's very uneven. It seems as if she cut it in a mirror with her head tilted slightly. One side much shorter than the other, and yet they cling to her skin and around her eyes, and she walks with a faraway kind of glazed look in the eye that you recognize, but choose just not to see right now. It's all too much. You can see ahead of you, only about 50 yards, the next street light. There's one behind you, yay, 20 feet. And then ahead of you, just 100 feet or so, is one final street light that sits directly above a gate. There is a 8-foot-tall chain link fence topped with razor wire that goes around this facility. The gate is every bit as tall, likewise topped with razor wire, and controlled from a booth. You see that there is a booth just to the right. The windows of it are blacked out. Small metal, kind of corrugated metal structure where there is a glass windows and one of those little kind of grates for speaking through. And it looks like a drawer for you to place things on and have things pass between the two of you. You can't see inside. You can't tell if anyone's in there. What do you do? Ooh. Oh, my. Lydia, thank you so much. Our own Lydia has donated 20 pounds now. Thank you so very much. Much, much, much appreciated. We love you.
This looks hospitable.
Yeah, you're telling me. I will walk up to the area and just check and see if there's some kind of push to talk intercom button or something that could give us any sign of life from the inside of this shack. And if there is not, I'll just on the window. Hello? Uh, is this the place where we go to check in? To the facility?
As you
Hi?
you knock on the door. Pause a moment, and there is no response at all, and you don't hear motion from inside. You don't hear any movement. It sounds vacant.
I'll turn back to Rachel, just be like, do you remember the time that we did the program with those trust exercises? You think this place is bullshitting us with that again? You know, one of those, like, see how you can solve your problems by working together?
Yeah, but with razor wire?
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah, there's no just throwing our coats over and climbing over, that's for sure.
Nope, not in this rain.
There is a door on that booth. A metal door, metal handle. Looks sturdy. What do you do?
Is it locked?
You want to test it, essentially?
Yeah, we'll try to open it.
You test it, and it's unlocked. You can feel it start to give just a little bit. Do you want to open it? Open it?
All right, if there's a dead body in here, we're leaving, right? Okay. Well, open
He's
it.
legit.
You open the door. Inside is a simple metal counter with a stool sitting in front of it, a plain wooden stool. There's a jacket hanging up on a coat rack to the right that says security. There's a magazine sitting open on the desk. There's a cup of coffee sitting next to it that still gives off steam, still warm. But there's no one here.
Jita goes straight for the coffee and drinks that. The last time that we saw this was back at that gas station. It has been 4 hours and 36 minutes. It's time. Yeah.
Can never have too
Tosses
much.
it back. Nope.
Tosses it back. It's shit. It tastes like standard office coffee, like that shitty watery Folgers that you then add powder creamer to.
Ugh.
And in fact, there's still, like, you get a little grit on your teeth. There's still, like, kind of chunks of powdered creamer that clings like a film on your teeth. But it's caffeine.
It's gonna get shit done at least. Well, let's look around and see if we can find like a key card or big red button that says open the gate.
Or is there a back door
You
to
see-
this place?
Yeah.
Well, you see on the counter, there is a button that seems to be the mechanism, but next to it is a keyhole. It looks like someone needs to insert a key and turn it in order to activate the gate. Which you don't have.
would the guy have the key on him, or would he just keep it here handy? Let's look through the drawers. Look through the shelves, whatever's all here.
Yeah, I'm gonna check the jacket to see if he just put it in the pockets like a rube.
You, Rachel, you look through all around, just like turn the place over, essentially. And in doing so, you find that there is a actual sign. It's got like the standard kind of like OSHA signs and all that hung up, on the back. And among them, though, is a sign that says, "Warning: no personal effects are to be kept in this booth." Clearly, someone's already kind of violated that a little bit. And that keys are to be carried on one's person at all times. Gina, you search the jacket and you don't find the key. But what you do find is looks like a Post-it note that's been folded in half and just stuffed in this guy's pocket. And it says, twins arriving. And it says today's date.
Well, clearly somebody was expecting us. It's weird that they didn't call when we showed up 4 hours and 36 minutes after we were supposed to check in, but...
And he has left his coffee here. What the heck?
It's still warm, too. Or, well, it was. So, where the fuck did this guy go? Is there no other way to get, like, out of the... Oh, go ahead.
Well, above you is an intercom, and suddenly you hear a voice.
Ah, our new arrivals. Can you hear me?
Yeah?
Yeah. Who are you, exactly?
Oh, sorry. Yes. I'm Dr. Black. I'm here to be treating both of you.
Okay. Well, we're here now. There's... Your security guy, like, took a long coffee break or something. We can't get in.
Ah, yes, I'm sorry. I can see you, by the way. Look up to your right.
And you see that there is a camera at the top right of the booth that is moving back and forth, just a little red light indicating it's on.
I'm sorry, we seem to have some issues with our security, but I can let you in from here. Just, head over to the main gate.
Cool.
Do it.
I grab the security coat and throw it over my shoulders, because it's dry.
Yeah, that's probably against the rules, but we'll deal with that when we get inside. You throw the coat on, head toward the main entrance, and as you do so, it opens up and slides 2 doors sliding open to reveal the front of the facility. It's you can now see in full view, this is a big old brick building. You don't know the history of this place, but it looks like at one time it was probably just maybe some kind of convalescent home, perhaps an old sanatorium, something on that order. It is an old brick building with a large staircase leading up to a front entrance, framed by 2 turrets on either side of it. And there are turrets at the corners of the building as well, this large rectangular building. It looks a bit like a fortress. Well fortified. But here in the rain, you see no one waiting for you at the door, no one there to take your bags. Not that I believe you have any. It's still quiet. It's still empty. Do you step in to the past the gate?
When you say turrets, are you talking like gun turrets or like those pylon things that they use to stop people from driving into buildings or whatever? What do you mean by turrets?
No. I mean the brick facade of this building.
Like
has
castle
these kind
turrets.
of
Oh, okay.
like castle turrets.
Okay.
Yes, not
Okay,
gun turrets.
okay.
No.
That's much
It's
less
not that
alarming.
kind of place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's step inside, I think.
All right.
Yeah, heading toward where it's dry, hopefully.
You step past the gate.
I can already feel a fucking blister.
You step past the gate, which promptly closes behind you. And you feel a mechanism. You can hear a loud clink as a mechanism catches, locking the gate behind you. And from atop the turrets, one of the turrets has a loudspeaker atop it. That
You hear, "Welcome to Willow Creek Rehab Facility. Please proceed to the main entrance for processing."
Okay.
Very friendly, this place.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
This is a rehab or a gulag?
you picked it, man.
Well, that was in character, by the way. All right, let's go to the main entrance. The sooner we get checked in and finish this, the sooner we can leave.
Yep.
You walk up the stairs and get to the main front door, just two big wooden double doors. As you enter, you're in a darkened hallway. It seems like the emergency lights are on, not the normal overhead fluorescent lights. There are just a few bare light bulbs that hang spaced out every only 50 feet or so down a long hallway. To your left is a window. You can see a desk behind it, but there's nobody there. The hallway cuts left and right, headed lengthwise down this large rectangular building, but it is dark and quiet, and these orange emergency lights are the only thing illuminating your path. You don't see any sign of life here.
I'm just looking for any of those signs or like those color pathway things that they paint on floors of hospitals to direct you to like this way to the reception area, or some sort of thing that could guide us to a check-in.
Yeah. You see that there are signs that illuminate. There are these signs on the walls that are what's the term for this? That are written in a kind of reflective tape that catches light even in the darkness. And you see on the left hallway, it says patients this way, and on the right hallway, it says family this way.
Gina takes a few steps down, like, okay, towards the family, and then is like, wait a second, and then turns around and starts walking in the opposite direction towards the patient sign.
We are family. We could go. Yeah.
We could, but
Fine.
It's your turn this time. We're going patience. Come on.
We'll need you separated for processing. Just an intake procedure, you understand.
I don't understand. I'm supposed to be doing the treatment here with her?
Oh, you will. But we need to discuss with the two of you separately before we can really begin the treatment in earnest.
Okay. You gonna be okay?
Sure. Yeah. As okay as I'll ever be, I guess. Besides, I'm security.
And we will be taking that from you.
Oh, you're no fun.
To the left, please, Rachel. Gina, to the right.
All right.
See you in a sec.
Okay.
All right. Rachel, as you take the left hallway, there's a set of double doors in front of you that indicate that you are to go through them. You step through the double doors to the other side. Big metal doors with glass, frosted glass windows. Likewise, on the right side, Rachel, I don't remember which one I said. Same setup on both sides. Rachel, Gina, you step through double doors to the opposite side, and you find yourselves now both in hallways that, conversely, are quite brightly lit. It seems as if this place is now alive and up and running. Let's start with Rachel. Rachel, you've been in these kind of facilities before. You know the sort of thing to expect. You see that there are rooms lining the hallway. They have metal doors with small porthole windows in each of them. They look like cells, but they call them rooms for you. What do you do as you go down this hallway?
I peek in one or two of the little peepholes. See what's in the other room, in the cells, in the rooms.
Yeah. You look through one of the windows and you see a woman of about your age, seems to be, who is laying on the floor, staring at the ceiling, eyes wide. There's a cot in the room, and you can see a few personal effects, a few bits of clothing and some blankets, but what really catches your eye is that there is just scattered across the floor, like so many spilled Skittles on Halloween, are pills. Dozens and dozens of pills in so many bright, beautiful colors. What do you do?
I make a note of the room, which room it is, to return later. Because, yeah, I don't want to have nothing on me when I get processed. Afterwards, it's fair game.
Is there something on you right now?
Yeah.
And you don't want anything on you when you're processed. What are you going to do about
Nope.
that? Do you have a plan for how you're going to deal with that?
Yes. And I have to use the restroom. Yeah. That's it. Before I go into processing, I'll use the restroom
Okay.
and take care of it, and then it'll be gone. Magic.
Do you want to look in any more windows before you use the restroom?
Yeah, one more.
This is much more stark. You walk down the hall. There's a few empty rooms, and then you see another light on the right, just a few feet down the hall, shining through a porthole window. And when you peek in, oh my, it's not just pills. This person is curled up. A young man, looks to be no older than 17 or 18, who is curled up in the fetal position, rocking back and forth, lying on his side. Lying on a bed, practically, of syringes. There are cotton balls and a used tourniquet on the floor. Blood speckled on the tile. And he looks to the window and you with a wild look in his eye and grabs at the needles hungrily and holds them close. As if to say, no, you will not have these, they are mine.
This is an interesting place. I might like it. I'll continue down the hall looking for the restroom. Yeah.
You see a sign. There is a bathroom on the right. It does say that you must be accompanied. You don't see anyone around.
I haven't seen a person in this whole place. I go in.
Go in and you see in the bathroom there are stalls. And there is also in the corner a red light. Another camera that swivels back and forth, panning across the room. How did you want to dispose of whatever's on you?
Well, I may or may not have just a little baggie, Ziploc bag stuffed in my sock with a couple, 3 pills in it. Just subtly watching the camera, trying to time it out.
Well, that's perfect, because that requires some careful timing. So that will be our first roll.
Oh no.
I'm gonna say that this is Kat. I know exactly what you're referencing because I purposely put the bathroom on the right for that reason. I'm gonna say this is an uneasy level roll, so the consequences won't be as severe for failure. You have by default 1d6 to roll. You need a 6 to succeed. A 4 or 5 will get you less than what you wanted. Do you want to add any dice to your pool by pushing yourself? Well, you can't push yourself on this because it's uneasy, but
Yeah.
is there anything you'd like to do to increase your odds? Reveal a scar, perhaps?
Gosh. Think of
I'm sure you have some scars related to this.
yeah, related to bathrooms and
Oh,
cameras and
It's probably not your first. You said it's not your first rodeo at rehab, so you may have done this before.
Rachel.
In which case, we could make a scar.
Yeah. Yeah, it was one of my first times in rehab. And I just didn't know what was going on. And I, too, then tried to smuggle something in. And as I was in the bathroom trying to get at my secret stash, another patient came out of the stall and told me I was an idiot because if you stand right underneath the camera, I can't see as much. And she took half of my stash as payment
For that information.
for that information. Yeah.
Yeah. But she gave you some sage wisdom.
Yeah.
So what would you like to add kind of to the fiction here, or to the setting with your scar that you from the past that will help you here? What would you like to add to the scene? It could also
That the
be an character if you
camera-
want. You could introduce a side character I could bring in also.
Oh, that could be interesting.
Mm.
So if the other patients are, another patient comes in, I don't know. Goodness, this is harder than I thought.
Can be anything you like. I'm happy to bring in an NPC if you want to have someone talk to you through this or something. Or
yeah, have somebody that maybe the camera would focus more on instead of me.
Yeah, and you hear. Okay, that's great. I love that. So the cameras you see do pan back and forth, but they do. You notice that when you enter into the bathroom, the camera stops panning and snaps to look at you as if it's motion sensitive. It sees that something has changed and it sees you, and you stare directly at the red light of that camera, and you can see that's looking straight at you. But then you hear from the stalls a moan. And the camera follows that sound and turns toward the stalls. You may now roll your 2d6. Or sorry, yes, 2d6 from revealing a scar, and you must take 2 anxiety for revealing your scar.
1, 2. Come on, baby. 5 and a 6. So I got a 6.
5 and a 6. You got your 6. You set out what you wanted to do. Beautiful.
Oh.
You accomplished what you wanted to do. So how do you quickly get rid of your stash?
As soon as that camera moves, I down my ankle, grab the bag, pop the pills, toss the bag in the garbage can.
Oh, you took them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, good.
They're not going to be on me anymore. You can't find them.
Oh, good. So you down these 3 pills. You know that you know what they are, and you know that they kick like a horse, and that they should be kicking in pretty soon. Might be enough to get you through at least one night. After that, well, you may have to go asking for help. But you see then the door to the stall throw open, and a woman of about your age stumble out after. She has greasy blonde hair that kind of clings around her face in these big chunks, and she's wearing standard scrubs, essentially. Simple blue scrubs that have Willow Creek Rehab just stamped on their stenciled on. And she says, Do you have more?
More what? I don't have anything.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You went straight to the bathroom. The only people that do that have stuff. So what do you got?
I have a security jacket. You want that?
No, I don't want your fucking security jacket. I want the pills.
You can pretend you're security. They can get everything.
Do you think this is funny? Do you think this is fucking funny? Is this like fucking funny to you? You just get here and you're gonna come in and make fun of all of us? You think this is what you do? This is what you do? It's not funny. It's not funny. So how about you give me the shit right now before I fucking shank you? What do you think about that? And she pulls a sharpened toothbrush from inside her scrubs.
Really? I haven't even been processed yet. Good gravy. At least give me a day before you try to kill me.
Holly, you know that's against the rules.
Oh no. I forgot about the... Oh, I'm gonna be in trouble now. And now you... Oh no. Oh god. Why?
Good luck.
Oh, you'll need it too. Don't worry. And she drops the toothbrush at your feet, the sharpened toothbrush, and backs up to the wall, kind of clinging and looking around. She says, I'm
sorry.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I just Please don't be mad at me, Dr. Black. I was it's just been really hard, okay? It's been so long. You're not giving me anything. I'm really kind of jonesing over here. So please don't be mad with me. Please don't make me go back, please.
You need to leave our new guest alone so she can get acquainted.
Okay. And she backs into the bathroom stall and shuts the door, and you can hear her begin to sob from the other side. You should go before he gets very angry.
Okay. I'll just grab a couple paper towels in the pretense of needing something to dry my hair. Leave.
Okay. Meanwhile, on the other side of the building, Gina, you are in a similar hallway. You see that there are porthole metal doors lining this hall with round glass windows in them, simple porthole windows. And at the very end of this long hallway is looks to be a sort of lounge area with just some couches and stuff laid about 50 feet down the hall. What do you do?
I'm move the rubber band down just off of the wrist and sort of like scrunching it back and forth with the fingers, and I'm just walking down the hallway towards where those couches are. Not feeling super great.
As you walk by, you see that there are people in the rooms who are lying on their backs, staring at the ceiling, not doing much. Just appear to be resting.
Did they look like patients?
No, they're not wearing they're not wearing the scrubs that patients wear here. They're dressed in normal street clothes. This is the family section.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just like walk over towards if there's like a door open, just be like, hi, am I in the right place? I was looking for the family check-in area. I don't know if I'm supposed to
Yeah. You kind of just shout down the hall.
Oh yes, you're in the right area. So good to have you. One of my nurses will be down to meet you in just a moment. Make yourself comfortable. Have a cup of coffee.
Jesus, you have these speakers everywhere. Okay. Coffee's good. I definitely thought this was gonna be one of those like no caffeine places, so gonna go find that now. Thanks. Weird disembodied voice.
You see that there is a carafe of coffee in the corner with simple Dixie cups sitting around it.
I'm gonna pour myself one of those, down the whole thing, and then pour a second, and then go sit down with it.
There is a no smoking sign in here too. Just want to point out because I know your proclivities. It's the same shit. It's the same shit coffee you had out in the booth there. The same shitty powdered creamers there. I'm guessing you just skip on that garbage.
Nope, not fucking with that. Nope.
And you sit here for a while, just downing coffee and passing the time, when suddenly a door opens, and stepping out is a man dressed in all white, scrubs also, not wearing a coat or anything. It doesn't look to be a doctor, but a sort of clean cut, clean shaven, bright blue eyes, blonde crew cut, very put together, looks healthy, athletic, carrying a clipboard. And he comes and sits down next to you and then says, he sits down for a moment as if about to introduce himself and says, "Oh, I'm sorry, let me just have my cup of coffee too first." And he pours himself a cup. Now, welcome to Willow Creek. You must be Gina.
Yep.
Gina. Well, I'm Bill. I'm one of the nurses here. I'm here to do your intake. I just need to ask you just a few questions before we get started, and then we can find you a room and get you comfortable, and we can really start the healing together. Okay?
Sure.
Okay. Are you a smoker?
Yes.
More or less than a pack a day?
Depends on the day, but like
On average.
average, yeah, right about there. Yeah.
I see. Any other drug consumption?
No, that's my sister you're looking for. She's on the other end of the hallway.
Oh yes, she's. We're dealing with her right now. She's currently going through processing, so don't you worry about that. What time would you prefer?
We look alike, you know.
Yeah, yes, of course, yes. No. We it's not our first rodeo. We've had identical twins in here before. I promise you, we're very careful. You'll both have different numbers assigned to you on your wristbands. There'll be no clerical errors there whatsoever. Don't you worry. Now, what time do you prefer to be woken in the morning?
I don't really wake up in the morning. Just like whenever
I see.
I go to sleep, whenever I pass out, and then wake up a couple hours after that.
I see. Well, we do run on a rather rigorous kept schedule here, so we will be waking you every morning no later than 9 p.m. and lights out are at 10 p.m. Is that okay?
Okay. Yeah, sure. 6:30, I guess. I don't know.
6:30. Okay, very good, very good. And you said you're here with your sister, Rachel. How long has she been using, to your knowledge?
I don't know. Probably since we were both in high school, maybe. I'm not really sure. It's not the kind of thing that you're, older by like 6 minutes twin really comes and confides in their younger twin about, but yeah.
When did you first become aware of it?
The first time I saw her using was when I was we were both juniors in high school. It was after a track meet.
A resplendent offering.
Yeah. Just behind bleachers with some other kids. I don't know. I was going to the lockers.
I see. And you've never engaged in any of this behavior yourself?
No. Why would I want to do that?
And simply a question, ma'am. Please don't take offense. It's just trying to get all the information so we can best assess how to treat you. Now, she's been using, well, it seems like for a very long time. So really, I mean, have you tried any other interventions?
Oh, yeah. This is the end of a very long line of places we've been, therapies we've tried, people we've talked to.
I see.
Yeah, I mean, don't, yeah.
And so really at the end of your rope here, huh?
Well, I mean, she is, sure, but like, I'm okay. I'm okay. We've done this before. It's not the worst it's ever been. We're not in the ER right now, so.
You see, that's where here at Willow Creek, that's where we think you're wrong. This really is an emergency situation that requires immediate intervention, and I mean, just look. And he points to a television screen in the top of the lounge where you can see as this old CRT comes up, you can see your sister in a bathroom just on the other side of the building, digging around in her sock for something. I believe, unfortunately, she may have brought something into the facility.
Damn, she's good.
Yes, they often are.
Sorry, was there an intake question associated with that? Because I would really like to just get this Inquisition interview thing over with so that I can get out of here.
Yeah. The question is, why do you think that you failed so miserably at getting your sister sober?
First of all, fuck you. Second of all, why do I think I've failed miserably? My sister is an addict. It's not about me. I mean, there's something in her that she is trying to fill up this way. I'm doing my best to make sure that she doesn't have, access to stuff she can use to hurt herself. But I mean, we're here, right? Like this we failed so miserably that we came here, and you're putting what, like, cameras in the bathroom to spy on people?
Oh yes.
And somehow
See,
this is
we
my
believe.
problem.
Oh, it absolutely is. Yes. I mean, you did, of course, take on the role of caretaker in her life. You didn't have to do that. But you have chosen to essentially give away most of your being in order to take care of your sister. Now, that's admirable, of course, but that kind of self-sacrifice is also very detrimental to one's health. And we're here to treat all of that. So, well, really, I think what we need here is for everyone to just kind of take a step back, really evaluate why they're doing what they're doing. Why is your sister using? Why are you just so miserable at stopping her from doing it? And then, we can find the root of the pain so that we can treat it, really, really evaluate it. So, look, I know that's hard to hear. I know that's very difficult to hear, but I think if you just accept that, well, on some level, it's your fault, really. Your sister's eminent self-destruction. It's to do with you. I mean, you've tried, but very likely in your incessant failure, you've made things worse, significantly worse for her. And if things continue down the same path, she's very likely going to, well, probably overdose and die. And we just can't have that. So really, let's take a long, hard look in the mirror. Gina, let's see who the real culprit is here, right? And you failed. You failed.
Without saying a word, I'm just gonna take one of the cigarettes out of the pack in my pocket and light it and start smoking in this lobby. Fuck this guy.
Now, I don't have to tell you that's against the rules, of course.
No, you don't. It's right there on the sign over there. I just decided I don't give a shit.
Yes, yeah, that is typical of people in your position. All of this nihilism and anomie because you can't take care of the people who desperately need your help. I mean, I understand. It's rough. I'll just make a note of that. That'll go in your file. Very good. Okay, well, I know this was hard, but look, treatment is just around the corner. Literally, just around that corner. I'm gonna go get your paperwork processed, and as soon as you're ready, just head right through those doors over there, okay? And he gets up, very chipper, and reaches over to the windowsill where there are some potted plants and a little spray bottle. And he takes it and just goes, whoop, and sprays a little bit on the tip of your cigarette and extinguishes it. All right. Take care now. See you soon. And goes back through a metal door that you hear lock behind him.
I just looked down into that empty now Dixie cup of that second thing of coffee that I drank, and then back at that guy who's retreating back through the door. It's just like, fuck, I want whatever he's having. Jesus.
If you want to feel better, it's time to start now. Step on through the doors.
Okay.
Rachel. After the bathroom. You step outside, starting to feel things begin to kick. Starting to feel the world start to swim a little bit. To your right is the where the arrows tell you to go for processing.
I follow the arrows.
And you find another similar sort of lounge that your sister was just in. Couches, carafe of coffee. This isn't one of those no caffeine joints. And a nurse steps out, likewise carrying a clipboard. Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, white scrubs, gleaming white smile. Big, beautiful chocolate brown eyes. Lovely curly hair. And he steps forward. Ah, yes. Miss Rachel. So good to have you here. So good to have you here. How are we feeling?
I'd be better if I was outside the gates, but yeah.
Oh, no. See, the
Doing all
healing
right.
really happens in here. This is where you're best. Trust me, you'll be fine. I just need to ask you a few questions before we can really get started in earnest. How old were you when you started using?
Oh, gosh. 15? 14? Something teen? Yeah.
Something teen. Oh, dear. Something teen. Ah, jeez. It's wild. You know, even your sister didn't know. And how often are you using now?
Depends on the day. Depends on where I am. Depends on who I'm with.
I'm going to take that to mean a fair bit.
I try.
Yes, they always do. They always do. So quite often, I see. And, what is it about yourself that you hate so deeply that you're covering with drugs?
Everything.
Everything. Very good, honest answer. See, we appreciate that. Your sister was so much less forthcoming. Hates everything. That's great. That's great. We can work with that. You know, you really got to get down to that level. You got to break down to build back up, you know?
Dig deep. Yes, dig deep. First time I heard that.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you were to estimate, how long do you think you have left to live before the drugs completely rattle your body and you die a lonely death in a gutter somewhere?
5, 10 years.
That's very optimistic of you, Rachel. Very, very optimistic, but okay, I'll write it down. 5, 10 years. Well, look at that. Look at you. I mean, hey, that's great. I love your optimism. Glass half full kind of person. Needle half full in your case, right? Am I right? Yeah. That's great. That's wonderful. Yes. And by the way, drugs of choice, pills, needles, powders, herbs, what?
Not too fond of needles. Yeah, I mean, you do what you gotta do, but yeah, pills are so much easier.
Doing a pinch, sure, but primarily pills. Okay, good to know. And are you currently high?
Nah, not currently.
Will you be in about 5 to 10 minutes?
15 to 20.
15 to 20, got it. Okay, So you smuggled some stuff into the facility. I understand. Okay. Was that
I
pills,
don't know what you
Rachel?
speak of.
Oh, don't worry. We won't be pumping your stomach. We think it's better if you go through this sort of on your own time. We don't feel the need to really intervene in that regard. I think you're an adult. You know best, right? It's on your time. You have to want it.
Right.
Do you want to get better, Rachel?
I don't feel like I'm not better. I'm better already. That's it. Yeah.
So we're at that stage. I see. So you're doing fine right now. That's why you're here with your sister at this rehab facility at Willow Creek. You're doing fine.
Wasn't my choice. Tell you that.
I see. Okay. Well, that's all very, very helpful information. Thank you so much. Now, you're going to want to just go through those double doors right over there and then hang a right, okay? And just follow that hallway to the end, and then your treatment will begin in earnest. Right,
Cool,
and then a
cool.
right. Trust me. Can't miss it.
Right. Right.
Okay, well, I'm Bill.
Okay.
Sorry, no, the last one was Bill. I'm Bob. Thank you so much. It's been great getting to know you. And as soon as we finish this up, we can reunite you with your sister, and all will be well. All right, I'm going to go get this put in. Make yourself at home. Don't do any more drugs.
You said make myself at home. You're going back on your
Jokester.
word now.
I love that. That's great. All right, well, take care of yourself. Bye-bye. And he leaves, shuts the door behind him. What do you do?
I fix my hair. I grab a couple packets of sugar, rip them open, take a couple sugar shots, go to the right, go to the right.
Holy shit. That's the most hardcore drug use you'll see in this stream. Taking sugar shots. You go to the right. You walk down the hallway as instructed. At the end of the hallway, it's a simple metal door, no window of any kind into it, but you check the handle, it's unlocked. And as you step into the room, you realize that probably the door should be locked because you're in the pharmacy. And I don't mean the lobby. I mean, you're back with the drugs in the pharmacy.
This place is getting better and better. I take a look around.
You have 5 minutes.
Dude, really?
Take whatever you want.
Oh.
Gina, you wanted to proceed through those treatment doors, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. You walk through, and there is a long hallway. At the end is a door labeled pharmacy. It's the only door in the hallway. That's where you were told to go.
Hey, if this is some kind of like lab rat thing, I'm pretty sure I need to sign a consent form for you to make me go through mazes and shit. But fine, I'm going. See, I'm walking. I'll go towards the
You do see that
pharmacy and
cameras
go in.
are following you as you go through. And as you reach the door, you open it up and you see that you're in the lobby of a pharmacy. There's a window in front of you, plate glass with a speaker in it. but there's no one here. Rachel, what are you doing back there?
I scan the labels and just, if I see anything that sounds good, I'm just going to take the bottle and stick it in my pockets.
Oh, there's lots of good stuff. Stuff you've had before, stuff
Yeah.
you've never heard of, but recognize kind of the names as like, ooh, that
Yeah.
must be, high dosage. There's plenty.
There you go. Oh, I don't need that size. I need that size. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you attempting to be quiet about this, or are you just like grabbing shit, Rachel?
He told me I had 5 minutes. I'm taking advantage of it. I'm
Okay.
not necessarily quiet.
Yeah, there's no one out in this little lobby area, but you can hear Gina, it sounds like someone just bopping around, just rattling bottles of pills and stuff falling on the floor from inside this pharmacy on the other side of the glass. What do you do?
You said there was like an intercom thing in the center of the window as well?
Yes.
I'm gonna go over and into it. Hey, is this the place where I push the lever to get a food pellet or something? Not in the pharmacy. That's my sister's thing, remember? That's not why I'm here.
You hear that loud and clear.
I don't...
Rachel.
Do they have one of those little push drawer things going out toward the lobby?
Yeah, definitely.
I just grab a bottle of something, stick it in the drawer, and push it out toward her.
You see
What
a bottle.
Is this?
What is it? You tell me.
Press the C. I can't read this. It's like got 17 syllables. What do you need me to do? Am I supposed to take this?
Take one every 6 hours. It calms your nerves.
Okay. Thank you.
It's required. The doctor said so.
Cool. I'm gonna put that in my pocket, but I'm not gonna do anything with it just yet. I'm gonna look and see if there's like a door or another speaker or a camera or something to get out of this hallway.
There is a camera in the room. There is a
Yeah.
camera in the room going back and forth, but the door to the pharmacy directly to the right is locked when you try the handle. And Rachel, from the inside, you can see the door handle rattle.
I'm going to go over, open the door, and say hi.
You do. It opens from the inside, and Rachel, you're staring face to face with your sister. Pockets overflowing with pills.
They said I could. Honest.
Oh,
I swear.
they said you
Girl
could.
Scout promise.
Yeah, because that's what happens when you go to rehab. They say you can just stuff your pockets full of whatever shit you want and just... Very funny. We're finding a toilet, and I'm just gonna look and see if there's like some place, some drain I can empty all of this stuff into. I don't care how long it takes.
You know,
You're
they're probably
hiding,
charging us
aren't you?
for
Because
this.
there's no way that like that's something that would make fucking sense in this place, right?
We work on an alternative model here at Willow Creek. Do you see now, Gina? You leave her alone 5 minutes, and look what she does. She's hopeless. She's hopeless. Why do you even bother? She's gonna die. Certainly. And you keep this up, so will you. You'll waste away just like all the rest of them. Don't you want to be better?
What are you talking about? All the rest of who?
All the rest of our patients that don't make it. Those who die lonely, somewhere under a bleacher, needle stuck in their arm. Or people like you, who die alone, without anyone to love because they've sacrificed absolutely everything. Wasted away, die of coronary heart disease, cancers, diabetes, or in your case, possibly starvation. This is no way to live. You both would do better without the other one. Don't you think?
No. We're two halves of one whole. You squish us both together and we're great.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
You sound uncertain, Gina. That's where we come in. We're here to give you the chance. You can either die together or separately. Those are the only two outcomes for you. That would happen without any of our help. Your sister's gonna end up dead in the gutter. You're gonna die miserable and alone, but maybe, if the other one is gone, there's hope for each of you to carry on. So, let's find out who's the stronger one. We'll do it together. That's the strength of our treatment model. And that's what we'll prove here today. So, Gina, do you want to live? Rachel, do you want to live?
Yeah, I want to live.
Sure. Beats the alternative, as they say.
Well then, you both better start running.
What?
Run. Now.
Run where? What?
Away from him.
And as that announcement comes over, you see Nurse Bill enter through the door to the pharmacy, carrying a very large syringe in one hand and a scalpel in the other.
Nope, I'm out of there. I am running. I am running like the start gun just went off at a track meet. I'm fucking going.
Rachel, what are you doing?
Yeah, she takes off. I'm going with her.
All right. This is going to, for both of you, be a tense roll.
Okay.
That's going to be, anything you want to do you can push yourself on this to get more dice, reveal a scar to get away from a man with a big scary needle and a scalpel. So let's start with Gina. Gina, what do you want to do?
I'll reveal a scar to get away from this guy because I really don't want to be around this guy right now. First of all,
right.
fucking
What is
hate
your
him.
scar
Second
related
of
to?
all, syringe.
What? Yeah, he's coming toward you doing one of those classic, this won't hurt a bit.
And it's immediately like the look on my sister's face the first time that I saw her using behind those bleachers. and it's the memory of those weird unfocused eyes and the just sort of running at 0.75 speed when everyone else is at 1.0 of her just slowly turning to look up at me completely deflated the excitement of that track meet that came before. I was on my way to go to the locker room and shower and change, and we were going to go out, have a big dinner, big celebration, and I didn't. I just turned right around and I went fucking running, just on trails behind the school, behind houses, out by the highway. I don't remember where all I went. I just was running away from that.
Yep. So that adrenaline kick that you remember so well kicks in again. That'll give you an extra die. Do you want to push yourself further? You get an extra one to get away?
Sure.
Okay.
What do I
so
have
that's
to
two
do
anxiety
for that?
from
Is
the
that gain?
That's
for
two
the
anxiety
scar,
from the
yeah.
scar. And then
Uh-huh.
For the pushing yourself, you have to roll another d6 and add whatever that is to your anxiety.
Okay, so I'll do that first. I'm
Okay.
adding 1 to my anxiety. The one
Lucky
time in
you.
this entire game I'll roll well, watch this. So I get 3 dice now.
3 dice and 3 anxiety, yep.
5!
You got a 5 as your best result. So
Yeah.
that, on a tense roll, of 4 to 5, you can get a lesser version of what you were attempting, suffer a consequence, and I get a point of dread. All of that happens, or, alternatively, you can try to push on and make it a desperate roll and hope for the best.
Let's make it a desperate roll and hope for the best.
Oh, shit. All right.
So, I have to roll something again for that, correct?
Yeah, you would re-roll as a desperate roll, so the consequences will be higher if you fail. You'll get your still have your 3d6.
So re-roll all 3 of those. Yeah, fuck it.
Yep.
I'm getting away from this asshole. Oh, God!
Oh no.
I rolled 3 2s.
Oh! Oh! Oh, dear.
I'm not even joking. I can take a picture.
Oh, that hurts. So, your despair goes up by 1. To start with. I get 2 points of dread.
Oh God.
I get 2 points of dread, and you suffer a severe consequence.
Okay. What you got for me?
You turn, immediately tuck tail to run away. Immediately tuck tail to run, and the adrenaline of the moment is absolutely overwhelming. But you're not the athlete you used to be. You have not been taking care of yourself. For God's sake, you haven't even eaten today. And you're lightheaded. You turn to run immediately in the panic as the cortisol races through your system. You are unable to even put one foot in front of the other as the room begins to swim slightly, and you fall face forward on the linoleum. Smash your face against it. You can feel a tooth loosen and blood pool in your mouth as Bill bears down on you with syringe, and you feel it stick in your back. Rachel, that's where we are now. You have a second to react. He hasn't pressed the plunger yet. What do you want to do?
Oh my gosh. I want to push him off her.
All
So
right.
he doesn't push the plunger.
I am going to call that a tense roll. Actually, I'm going to have to call that a desperate roll. He has a needle stuck in her back and has a scalpel in the other hand. So this is a pretty life or death situation. So I'm going to call that a desperate roll. You have 1d6 to start with. Do you want to reveal a scar? Do you want to do anything to up your chances?
Oh gosh, scar. When we're running, I was remembering when we were little, and we're being chased by these big kids, these stupid big kids, and we're helpless, and we're just little kids, but Gina, oh, she could run so fast, and I couldn't run as fast, and I just kept getting farther and farther behind, and I was so scared, so scared. I don't want to feel that scared again.
Okay.
Gosh.
Love that. So your scar here, what would you say your scar here you're revealing is? What is the pain you're uncovering?
Despite the medication that's dulling the emotions, I still feel that childhood fear come forward, and I don't want to feel that, and I don't. But it's my sister. Even though she ran away from me, she's still my sister. I look at her and I see me.
The scar you feel here, the pain you feel here, is that you still love her and that you still want the best for her, even though she was running from you. And just as she did then, she did again. For all that she likes to say she supports you, she sometimes has abandoned you when you needed her. I love that. Cadence, Rachel, take 2 anxiety for revealing your scar.
Yep.
And you may now roll 2. There's the other option, by the way, here. You can add another one if you either push yourself. Oh, you can't. Well, you can put yourself on a desperate roll. You can still push yourself, which means you would take a point of anxiety. An extra point of anxiety if you want that 3rd die. Or, Gina, you could help somehow and take a point of anxiety yourself to give her an extra die.
I think you said that he's got
a syringe in your back.
He got the syringe in my back, right?
Yep.
Sure, I'll help by, I think, reflexively being in the point of running away and then feeling that thing go into my back. I think that my head just snaps up and backwards and just crunches his nose with the back of my skull because I'm not expecting getting stabbed by a syringe in the back. So I'm helping her by smashing his fucking face.
Hell yeah. Okay, that's great. So
and
you
I
back
take
up
anxiety for that?
You take a point of anxiety for helping.
Okay.
So I have you at 4 now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Cadence, you have 3d6 to work with on a desperate roll.
My highest is a 4.
So
and a 4, a 2, and a 1.
I get 2 points of dread for that. Thank you. And you can choose to either suffer a severe consequence or raise your despair by
1. Raise my despair. Sure. I haven't touched that yet.
So you get a... you achieve what you set out to do, though, on a 4 to 5 and a desperate roll. So you... As your sister bucks up and cracks this dude in the nose, you lower your shoulder into him. And with all of your numbed, drugged-out senses, you just manage to just crack this guy. He comes flying off, swinging the scalpel that just whizzes past your face. And he falls to the ground. The syringe is still stuck in Gina's back, but he has been temporarily you temporarily have him off of you. Gina, what do you do now that this guy's off your back?
Rachel's right behind me, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab your wrist and then just be like, come on, we're getting out of here, and then just start running again down the hallway. Just still like full on fight or flight, forget the fact that I have a syringe sticking out of my back. I just want to be as far away from this fuckface as possible. No, thank you, evil.
Not today, Satan. Rachel, do you go along?
Oh, yeah.
As you run down the hall, you see that you can still see the syringe sticking out of your sister's back with this kind of sickly pink liquid that fills it, that sloshes, and you can feel it digging into your muscle as you run and bounce with every step, the needle just tearing through your skin and your muscle. In that shoulder from back when you played softball still has that old injury. It hurts.
No.
It hurts. You get to the end of the hallway, reach that lobby, and it's again vacant. You don't see anyone else around. What do you do?
I'm pulling the syringe out of her back.
You pull the syringe. Yeah, I'm going to call this a, because of the situation, in order to do this without hurting her, I'm going to call this a tense roll because you're still being actively pursued, to get this syringe out safely. Also without accidentally injecting any of what's in there into her bag.
Oh, dear.
So
better hope this isn't a spring-loaded syringe, otherwise.
like an EpiPen.
Yeah.
This is a tense roll. Because you're doing it kind of on the run. So 1d6 to start with. You want to add anything?
I'm going to live dangerously.
Oh boy.
It's not my back. Besides, I'm hopped up. I'm not thinking clearly, right?
Fair.
And I got a 5.
A 5. You achieve a lesser version of what you wanted, or you can try again. Oh, sorry, you're on a tense roll. You achieve a lesser version of what you were attempting. You suffer a consequence, and I take a point of dread. You can carry on like that, or you can push for a desperate and try to do better. You want to carry on that way, or keep going?
I'm fine with the 5.
All right, so I get a point of dread. And you achieve a lesser version of what you wanted. And I'm actually going... You suffer a consequence. I am going to spend 3 points of my dread to up that to a severe consequence. So you did just mention that you're not totally in your right mind. And you go to grab the syringe, and then you grab the top, stupidly by accident, and press as you're pulling out. And as you rip it from her back, you can see some of that liquid spray through the needle tip. And you feel it, Gina, on the back of your head splatter and down your back.
Oh.
And you feel, as the liquid enters into your muscle, Gina, you feel this hot burning sensation. Kind of coursing through you. And you have this awful, awful pain in your back, the like of which you've not felt in years since early athletic injuries. It's terribly painful. What do you do?
I'm just gonna turn around and be like, my God, Rachel, what did you do to me?
I got the needle out of your back.
Yeah, I can't move my fucking arm. It feels like my blood is on fire. What did you do? What was in that thing?
Pink.
Just a bit of mother's milk. We're here to help after all, aren't we?
Help
Are
do
you?
what exactly?
Help one of you survive. Because both of you ain't gonna do it. By the way, I never said to stop running. You might want to keep moving.
And you see now coming from the nurse's station, just off of the lobby, coming out is 2 more nurses. Again, impeccably starched white scrubs. But this time they're both carrying bone saws. And you hear the as they bear down upon you. What are the 2 of you doing?
Running away? Is there any other option?
Maybe. Again, feel free to ask if there's something in the scene that you could use to fight back. Throw a chair. The syringe that you just got torn out of your back is now a weapon.
Oh,
She still is running though. Like, she's still in the space of, I need to just put as much distance between myself and the bad thing. She's not looking to fight.
Yeah, okay. By the way, I'm going to give you 1
looking to
point
fight right
of...
now.
I forgot to do this before, from escaping that dude back there that put a needle in your back. That's going to give you all 1 point of hope in your hope pool.
Oh, sweet.
Because you did get away once.
Mm-hmm. Well, sort of.
So, sort of 1 point of hope. All right, so
Still
run.
got stabbed. It just was.
Both of you roll tense rolls to try to get away.
Okay.
From these
that's
2
just
homies
one
bearing down on you
die,
with bone
right?
saws. That is just 1 die to start with, unless you do something. You can add something to the scene. For example, you could you could use a scar to add something to the scene that might assist you in getting away. Not just that you run fast, but maybe that, again, like, is there directly next to me, for example, a clipboard I can throw at him or something, to distract or something like that. Anything. Could be anything. Just have to have a scar related to it. So let's start with Rachel this time. Rachel, do you add anything to your dice pool?
I'm just envisioning, as they do in every freaking movie, you grab a chair or something and just like throw it behind you to try to get the guys chasing you to trip. But I don't, something related to that. Yeah, I can't.
Let me give you a prompt. We haven't talked about y'all's parents at all.
Mm.
Did you guys come from maybe a rough household where chairs got thrown a lot? Just a suggestion.
Yeah, I had an idea, but you should go first and see.
It's a free-form conversation. If you have an idea for like what her scar might be, you're welcome to shout it out. It's at the end of the day, Cadence has final say. But
Yeah. Just because of throwing stuff, I was gonna see if maybe we look around and there's like a fire extinguisher on the wall.
Oh.
Because a chair is light and fragile and you can dodge out of the way. But if you really want to hurt someone, you need to hit them with something that is going to land hard. And a fully loaded fire extinguisher to the face will do that.
that is true.
Or just stun them first by setting it off and then whack them with it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you have a fire
Yeah.
in your past, Rachel?
Yes.
Leave a crack pipe burning?
Yeah, I was at a friend's house just partying away, and don't know what made me wake up, but when I did, I just saw flames. Just saw flames and desperate to get out of there, and just I saw one of my friends laying there, but they wouldn't wake up, so I just left them. I left them. I kept.
Just
I
left
got
him.
out of there. Yeah. Yeah.
So there is a fire extinguisher in this scene. The one you didn't have that day. You know he died. You didn't have to
Yeah.
check the papers to know that. No one could have survived that fire, and he was stuck in there. There's no way he lived.
At
Fire
least he was
extinguisher might have not even
unconscious.
helped. That's 2 anxiety for you. And now there's a fire extinguisher in the scene that you can use as part of this, which will also increase. So now that's a 2d6. Do you want to
6.
push yourself perhaps further and take some anxiety?
Oh, I'm
Or can
doing good on
Gina help?
anxiety.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you on
I'll
6
help.
anxiety right now.
Yep.
I'll help.
Okay.
I'll take an anxiety to help out. I think I'll spot it across the hallway, and then just yell out like "Rage catch!" and I'm gonna pull it off of the area of the wall, do the like break glass in case of emergency, spray it, and then toss the thing to you so that you can like chuck it at these chuckle fucks that are coming after us. So I'll take an anxiety for that.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm just running away,
All right.
but I'm really mad about it.
That's 3d6. 3d6 on a tense roll.
6
With
is
your
Please
fire
don't let me
extinguisher.
roll this. You do it.
Oh, it's definitely Rachel. Yep.
Yeah, my highest is a 4.
Highest is a 4.
I got a 2, 3, and 4. I gotta find more d6s to try.
Do you want to push on? Do you want to take you will take a lesser version of what you wanted, suffer a consequence, and I get dread, or you can push on and make it desperate.
Let's make it desperate.
Take a point of anxiety.
Yeah.
Take a point of anxiety and re-roll
All right. Come
desperately.
on, babies. Oh, and a 6.
Hey!
Yes.
I still get a point of dread.
Oh,
Because
thank
even
you.
if it's a desperate roll, I always get a point of dread.
Mwah.
Woo!
Give that
And
one extra
y'all are
kisses.
Y'all are gonna get a point of hope for that.
Ooh, hey.
As you spray the fire extinguisher, are you doing like spray and then smack?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm spraying it to like obscure their vision, and then I'm throwing it over to Rachel because she's closer and she can do the boom thing, like just when
Yeah.
they run through the cloud. Yeah.
Yes. You feel you hit one of these guys on the side of the head, and you feel bone give way under the weight of the fire extinguisher. His head just crushes like a melon beneath the fire extinguisher. You are splattered in the face with blood as he falls, and this really sickly mixture of blood, brain, skull, and whatever the hell is inside fire extinguishers is just sloshing all over the floor. The other guy is coughing and swinging the bone saw wildly. You need to roll tense to not get hit.
Both of us or
God,
just
you're
her?
having this-
Just her, she's the close one.
Okay. Just checking.
Yeah, I'm just. Yeah. A 5.
A5. You achieve a lesser version of what you wanted, or you can try again and push and do it tense.
I'm fine with a 5.
Okay. The bone saw scrapes across your cheek. You feel it cut down to the bone.
Oh.
Your cheek is cut wide open, and there's blood pouring down your face as this big, wide, jagged, uneven gash opens up, And even in this cloud of smoke and haze all around, Shell... oh my god, I just called you Shell. Gina, you can see...
One fear.
One fear. Gina, you can see the white of bone exposed in your sister's face. However, you get hit, but you do manage to back away. And there's now, this guy is still coughing, and there is time for the two of you to run.
Run.
Just don't touch it, don't touch it. Come on, come on.
You book it down the hallway, back into the main entrance. You see that you're back in that dimly lit hallway with the emergency lights on. And you can see banging at the window of the patient area where Rachel had been before. Are those patients some of the ones you saw? You see Holly among them, and then also just these people who just look gaunt, and their eyes are bloodshot, their pupils blown and dilated, and they're scratching at the glass because they know the word's gotten around that Rachel has the shit, and they want the shit. And this human crush of bodies is pounding against the door. You can see blood beginning to splatter the glass as whoever was unfortunate enough to be close to the door is having their head bashed in against the window. What do you do?
Just keep running.
I think so.
They're behind the doors. Keep running.
Well, for now, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see that door as it pounds and pounds and more blood, and you can hear whining and moaning from the other side of that. The lock is beginning to buckle. You want to run out the front door? Or go somewhere else?
I'm gonna have it maybe together enough to remember the camera things at the front and be like, we need to not run right in front of where someone can see us. Is there some side hallway, air shaft, supply closet, like anything that looks like it would be more on the DL for us to run through or into?
Yeah, I'm going to say to the right down that dimly lit hallway, you do see that there are doors that line that hallway. They're like supply closets, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
And there are grates for ventilation ducts. What do you do?
I'm going to rush over to one of those and try and pop it open so that we can climb in and get out of the way of where people can see us. I'm trying to hide.
All right. Roll, I'm going to call this, again, because of the situation, I'm going to call it tense to try to pry that off. That grate.
Okay.
You're going through the ventilation grates? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to, reveal a scar to give myself an extra die on this.
All right. And take 2 anxiety.
Yeah. When it comes to hiding from stuff that you don't want to see and don't want to hear, it's something that Rachel and I used to do all the time when our parents would fight. We would smush into closets or under the bed or go outside and find like some little tree root thing that we could squeeze ourselves into. Always a spot big enough for the two of us to fit in, because we didn't want to leave one without the other. And so that's what I think of when I am trying to prise open this ventilation shaft.
Yeah. Another hidey hole, just like you used to have back in the day.
I got a 6.
Hey! On what? Did you roll 2? And you rolled 2 and got a 6? Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
You dig your fingers into the side of this vent, and you feel your fingernails bend and break and blood pool on your hands as you dig in and pull, ripping some of the screws like straight out of the drywall with this massive exertion of effort, and tear it off, exposing the open vent. What do you do?
Okay, come on. Get in.
Are you sure this is a
Now
good
wait for her to
idea?
go first. What else do you want us to do? Just right behind us, and there's cameras out the front. Just get in.
Fine. Crawl in.
You get in.
And I'll go in after.
Ahead of you, the ductwork turns to the right. It's dark, obviously, dusty. Every little movement you make echoes. Are you trying to crawl further in or just sit and wait and hide? What are you doing?
Well, as the last person in, I want to be like at least 3 feet into this thing, so that if somebody walks by, they don't just see like a foot dangling towards the exit. So like not crawl through the pipes necessarily, but be like go, like enough so that if someone walks by, they're not immediately gonna see that we're there. I hope.
We try to move really slowly and quietly once we get far enough in. Try not to make
Both of
any
you roll.
sound.
Because you've put a little distance, both of you roll uneasy rolls to move stealthily and quietly through this vent without being noticed.
Okay.
Both of you, you too, Rachel.
Yeah.
4.
4. Do you want to push on?
Oh, God.
How'd you do?
To get extra and make it desperate. Oh God.
All right. I get a point of dread. Unless both of you can push on if you'd like and make it tense. Take anxiety and make it tense.
How many points do we take? I'm sorry. Of
1.
anxiety
If you push
if
on,
we
you
make
take
it
1 point
tense?
of anxiety. Yep.
I could do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do
Yeah.
that.
Both
Fine.
of you?
That's. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Roll again.
Got the same thing.
You got a 4? How'd you do, Rachel?
I got a 4 and a 5, but
Got a 1.
no!
Do you want to push on to desperate? Or take this one on the chin?
I was desperate. I'm desperate. I'm desperate now.
Take another
I'm
point of
also-
anxiety.
9.
If you're going to push on to desperate. You're at 9. What are you doing there, Gina? You want to push on?
Yeah, we're doing this together, so I'll do it too. Fuck it. I don't care
You're
anymore.
both... All right, now it's a desperate roll. Roll it.
6. Oh my God.
Hey! How'd you do, Anna?
Oh no.
I rolled 2
Oh,
ones
no.
and a 2.
All right. Yeah, let's deal with Anna first. Anna, your despair is going to go up by 1.
Yep.
I take 2 points of dread. And you suffer a severe consequence.
Yep.
Rachel, you're in front. You did what you set out to do with this. And I still get a point of dread from you anyway. So that puts me at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dread. You push on, Rachel, ahead of your sister, moving very, very quietly. But you can hear behind you that she has been hurt, especially from that needle in her back, that she's moving hobbled, and it's just not right. And she is banging against the inside of the vent as she goes, making all kinds of ruckus. You are not. You may, at your discretion, get away to safety, essentially, here, or stay behind with her.
I can't really turn around. It's a small little ventilation. If I go backwards, I'll just end up kicking her in the head. She's healthy. She's strong. She's strong. She's always been strong. She can make it. She can do it. I know she can. She's always behind me. She's behind me all the way. I keep going forward. Yeah.
All right. You can make it to safety, leaving her behind. Because you betrayed her, you get an extra 2 dice added to your pool. Gina, you take a point of despair because she's leaving you behind. But Rachel, with a successful uneasy roll, because you already did so well keeping quiet, with a successful uneasy roll, with 3 dice already, because you betrayed her, you can get free and clear to the other side of this vent, somewhere safe. So roll your 3d6.
God, I'm a horrible person. Highest is a 5.
Highest is a 5.
2 and a 1.
Do you want to push on or take the 5?
I'll take the 5. I deserve it.
You achieve a lesser version of what you wanted. Gina, you see your sister look back at you with a moment of pity in her eyes and genuine affection and love and caring. But then, as she so often has done, she looks out for herself and leaves you alone in the vent. I am going to spend 4 dread.
Oh, crap.
Because of what has just occurred, to raise Gina's despair to 4.
Okay.
Gina, you're alone. You can't move very quickly. Oh, you're on 9 anxiety too. You can't move very quickly. And your sister's abandoned you, and you can hear that door has given way. That footsteps are flooding the hallway. You hear the buzzing of the bone saw once again approaching. And you hear the voice of Nurse Bill. Back! Back, you fucking freaks! Back! I have a patient to deal with. Out of the way, all of you! You'll all get yours later. Back! Go! Ha! Ha! And you hear of the clacking of his heels on the linoleum as you hide, paralyzed with fear and with pain, in this small, lonely ventilation shaft. You remember those times in your youth when these little places were places of comfort, where you'd go to get away from your parents' incessant screaming and fighting. How awful that this is where you feel now you will die. What do you do? Oh, and by the way, guys, your hope goes up by 1 because at least one of you got away. So you're on 3 hope.
Well, that's nice and all, but I do still have 4 despair and 9 anxiety. So at that point, Gina stops trying to crawl forward. And just hot tears fall out of her eyes. She's just sort of looking forward to see. She's like, Rachel? Rach, don't leave me! Please! I'm scared.
We did warn you that she would leave you. She always does. She always will. You're better without her.
No. She always leaves me, but she always comes back. We do this together. We get through this stuff together. She wouldn't actually leave, not for real.
She's gone. But all hope's not lost. Gina, you have a choice now. Do you want to live? Answer me!
Well, I don't want to die.
Good. You still have that survival instinct. You haven't lost everything to that worthless sack of a sister of yours. You gave so much. But you still have that essential piece of your humanity, the will to survive. Congratulations. So let me give you a choice. You can walk out of here. But your sister can't. You or her. It's always been her. Time for a change, huh? Let her go.
Okay, I want to leave.
That is a betrayal. So, you can make to get out of here. You're still going to have to get through some maniacs on the way out, but the staff won't get in your way. You will increase your sister's dread by 1. Sorry, despair, excuse me. You may roll 3d6 to make a dash for the door.
You'll find it's unlocked.
Four.
4 is your best result?
Mm-hmm.
So because of the situation wherein you've been granted the ability to leave, I'm going to say that that's only an uneasy roll.
Okay.
You don't have severe consequences for failure. You achieve a lesser version of what you wanted. You make to leave. You get, as you walk by, you see that the patients are still milling about, and they run to you. You see, are you the one? Do you have the stuff? You have the stuff, right? Do you have the stuff?
It's not me.
Give it
I
to
don't
me.
belong here. It's not me. It's my
She's got
sister.
it. She's got it right there in her pocket. She's got it. And they start clawing at you. You feel dirty fingernails digging into your skin, and you feel your pockets of your jeans being torn away. Of your sweatpants, being torn away as they claw at you. Your shirt is torn. You feel a clump of your hair ripped. Your scrunchie falls to the ground. But you back away slowly.
Did you save
reach the
that
front
bottle
door.
of pills I gave you?
Oh, that was in my pockets. That's true. Did they get those out of the pockets?
Oh, dear.
Because literally the only things I had were the pack of cigarettes, a lighter, and that bottle of pills, which I'd forgotten I had.
Yeah. I'm gonna say... Are you trying to keep it from them, or do you not give a shit?
I don't care anymore. I just want to get out of this building. If they want it that badly, fine, knock yourself out.
Yeah. I'm gonna say they claw at you, but when they find that, they all turn sort of on each other and begin attacking the person with the bottle, leaving the way clear for you to leave.
Yep, I'm going.
You hobble outside into the rain. That falls gently upon your face. Meanwhile, Rachel, you've reached the other side of the vent. Your sister is probably fine. You assume. At the other end, you come out into another hallway where, standing there waiting for you, is a man in a white coat. Gleaming white smile. Handsome. Bright blue eyes. You are exceptional, Rachel. Your will to go on, against all odds, extraordinary. You are the model patient of Willow Creek. And you can see very clearly his jacket says Dr. Black. I'm very
now
proud
what?
of you. Now, well, I suppose without your sister weighing you down any further, you're free to do whatever you like. What do you want?
Out of here.
There's a quick way out of here. In your mind. You have pockets full of pills, don't you? I won't stop you. Do whatever you like. I can give you more if you like.
I got something better. I have a syringe half full of pink liquid. I want to stab it into him.
Nice! Nice! Love it! All right. You are facing up to the man who's been tormenting you. You have a syringe full of drugs. This is do or die. If this goes poorly, Lord only knows. So I'm calling this desperate. It needs to work. Anything you can do to increase your odds.
I remember when our father backed Gina up into a corner and was just screaming at her and shouting at her. We were just little kids, helpless, couldn't do anything. But I took one of the beer bottles off the table and, like they do in the movies, broke it on the table and jammed it into his back as he screamed at her so she could get away. And that's what I'm going to do for this guy.
That's 2 points of anxiety, which puts you at 11.
10? 11.
So from here, yeah, with maximum's 10. So from here on out, all of your rolls are desperate rolls. And you are panicking. I'm going to say that in all of the blood flow and everything, you feel the drugs actually starting to not have the hold they had anymore. You're starting to feel almost sober, and that makes you panic. As you swing the syringe. So that's 2d6. You can't push yourself because you can't take any more anxiety. So you're maxed out.
This is it, babies. Come on, be good to Mama. A 5.
A 5.
A 2 and a 5.
Okay. I get 2 points of dread. Thank you. You may choose to suffer a severe consequence or raise your despair.
I'll raise my despair to 3.
That puts you at 3.
Yep.
You achieve what you set out to do. So I'm going to also raise your hope. So you're on 4 hope.
Oh, man.
Both of you are on 4 hope. And you're both on 4... No. Anna's on 4 despair. You're on 3. You sink the syringe into his neck and squeeze down the plunger. He looks at you with utter shock and reaches up for the syringe, looking very groggy, wide-eyed, and pulls, and as he pulls it out, he backhands you, sending you back into the wall. He reaches back into his belt and pulls out a scalpel. You've always been ungrateful, haven't you? People try to help you, and you spit in their face, you worthless bitch. Well, guess what? Your treatment begins and ends today. Now sit still, this won't hurt a bit. As he charges at you with a syringe. You need to try to get away. This is desperate automatically because you're super high anxiety.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, we'll live dangerous. What the heck, right?
Before you do that,
Yes.
before you roll, I have 5 dread. I'm going to spend 4 of it to put you at 4 despair.
Yes.
So you better roll well. He's bearing down on you with a syringe. It only feels right. You're on 4 despair. This is a do or die roll. And you're on 4 hope.
6. It's a 6. It's a freaking 6.
Oh! Oh, shit!
Oh my god!
Whew.
Oh my god! I'm shaking. Oh my god.
My god. You may now take it away, Rachel. How do you turn this around in such a way that you kill this doctor?
As I'm seeing everything clear-headed for the first time and God only knows how long, and I think of my sister that I left behind in that stupid vent, and I'm just so frustrated and angry in this stupid place. I didn't want to go here. I didn't want to spend this money. I just grab him by his wrist and just bring it right across his own throat. And I go back through that vent to my sister.
You wrench the scalpel as he swings, you redirect it, wrench it from him, and bring it across his throat. He falls at your feet, blood gurgling, muttering something. Still trying to maybe convince you that this was all for your own good. But you don't hear, and you don't care anyway. The sloshing of your wet shoes returns now as they pool with warm blood. You crawl back through the vent, covered in blood, rattled, still panicking, heart rate jacked. You see a crowd of those patients you saw before clawing at each other, fighting over a pill bottle.
I throw a couple more pill bottles at him and head for the door.
They scatter and fight amongst each other. As you step outside, Gina, did you stay there? Where'd you get to?
I think that I maybe walked towards where the trees begin again. So not far. And at that point, I think just the sheer panic and exhaustion and dread took over, and I tried to find a little spot in the roots of one of the trees that I could just curl up in and just stay still and not have to run from anything for a little while.
Rachel, as you step outside into the cold rain, you walk out the front door and through the gate. You see your sister there, curled up beneath the root of a tree, shivering, crying, shaking, gasping for breath between sobs.
Gina? Gina?
Why did you left? How did you... What... Why did you leave me?
I couldn't turn around in that thing, and if I would have backed up, I would have hurt you, and so I had to get out the other end and come back through. Sorry,
Are
it
you
took so
okay?
long. Yeah, they won't be able to. We're not going to look exactly alike anymore, but yeah. Let's get out of
Does
here.
it look like... Yeah.
What's your question?
Does it look like anybody is following us out of the building at this point? Are there any
No
signs
person.
that there are people fighting over pills on the floor from the outside?
Those people don't seem to give a shit about you at all.
Right.
And there's no person following you. But you do see as you exit that camera following you as you go. It pans around, and as you speak and as you move, it snaps to attention, looking at you. And almost as you notice it, it's almost as if it bashfully looks away again.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Walk on down the road, trudging through the rain, beaten, worn, panicked, exhausted.
Bloody.
Bloody. After some time, you do find your vehicle. Through a combination of simple persuasion and good luck, you manage to get the thing running again, based on with what little money you have left. And you go home. But no two people can survive what you two have survived. And come out unscarred, literally and figuratively. Both of you are traumatized by this experience, and I'd like to know from each of you in turn, weeks and months down the road, what's changed? How has this affected you? I'd actually like to ask Gina first because I have a specific follow-up for Rachel. So Gina.
Weeks and months after the fact, I don't think
Yeah.
Gina's left the place where she lives.
Become a
I
shut-in.
think she's, basically just not wanting to really go outside at all unless it's an emergency. Period.
And Rachel, your sister's been shut in since then, unable to leave her house, too terrified to go out in public. You've had your own scars to deal with, but yours is slightly unique. You took a life.
Yeah.
In escaping. How are you doing?
I'm strangely okay. I found strength that I didn't realize I had, and I haven't touched pills since then.
You've gotten clean.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I take care of my sister.
And that's where you are now, at her home. You've never seen her like this, Gina. She looks better. She's taking care of herself. She's caring more about her appearance even. She's dressing nicer. She seems to have gained some weight back. She's fixed that awful asymmetrical haircut she had. But she's taking care of herself enough to finally repay you for all that you sacrificed for all those years. She's now your guardian. She looks after you. And she's become the one who sacrifices to save. And that is where you are. Oops. That is where you are when, Rachel, your phone rings.
Hello?
Hello, Rachel. This is
Who
Dr.
is
Brown.
this? Brown?
Yes, we understand the pendulum has swung back the other way, and, well, we're here to help.
And that's where we'll end our session of Quietus. How we doing?
Good.
That was so
Good.
good. Oh. Wow.
Oy, oy, oy.
I'm gonna request, could we just take 30 seconds to, like, catch breath? I'm
Breathe.
gonna just get up and walk around for a second. I will be right back, but I am fine.
That is- We are, of course, playing a horror game, and that is very much encouraged that you take a break
Okay.
when you need one. So, by all means,
I will be right back.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, how you doing, Cadence?
Yeah. Oh, wow. That was a ride. Dang, you're good.
I was so mean to you guys. I'm so sorry. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna take just a few minute break, decompress in the green room for a second, and then we'll be right back to talk with all of you about that whole experience. So, by all means, see you in just a few.
Oh, my goodness.
Hello, everyone. I should really not use this anymore, huh?
No, no.
Oh, voice mod. Where would we be?
You guys are gonna be
without
terrified of
you?
bullhorns now. That was wonderful. We all just took a minute backstage to kind of take a breather, much needed after that. My heart rate's jacked right now because that coming down to that one desperation roll where it really was you had a do or die roll. It was either going to be 5 hope or 5 despair. You were either going to die or
Yeah.
you were going to get away. So, whew. So, before we say goodbye, we definitely have to, I didn't want to do this during the stream because trying to stay in the moment, but now we need to shout out all of you beautiful people that donated and smashed our donation goal. We're on 210 pounds sterling. Thank you all so much. We love you. Shout outs to Tom. Thank you. Dan, Kat, Pope, Celeste. I see Pope and Celeste had a bit of a donation tug of war, and that's the kind of races you love to see. And then Amducius, I hope I'm saying that right, put us over the top. So thank you guys so much. That is the best Halloween treat I could have. I provided the tricks. Y'all gave me a treat. Wonderful. Thank you all so much. It's a great cause that you're putting money toward, and we appreciate you dearly. So let's go talk to our sisters over here and see how we're doing, and then talk where we can see you after this. I mean, anyone that's watched this now should be well aware that you're both fucking amazing role players. So, Cadence, my dear friend, Magdalene Bloom, where can we find you? And first of all, how are you doing, and what'd you think of all that wild craziness?
Oh, I'm doing good. I found that having a triple shot coffee during the game was not the best idea. Drugs are bad. Drugs are bad.
Drugs are bad.
Yes. But yeah, such a great game. Anna and Colin, you both are just, it's an honor to work with both of you. Oh my goodness. And as for finding me, I'm on the Twitter.
Hard save. Your Twitter is at Magdalene Bloom, right?
Yep.
Great. I can testify that Cadence posts some great political hot takes. So, as a Wisconsinite, that's what you need right now. So please, by all means, continue.
Yes, vote, stay in line, vote. If you have absentee ballots, whatever. Don't mail them, take them somewhere, hand them personally to somebody. Don't miss out on your chance, guys. This is too important.
Seconded,
and I found out actually yesterday that the city I live in, Racine, as of Friday, they were out of all the prospective voters, they're at 43.5% who have already voted absentee.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, up around the country, we've already got, last I saw, it's about 67% of the total 2016 vote total has already been submitted via absentee ballots and via mail-in ballots and everything. So, but keep that needle moving. Please go vote next week. Thank you. I was going to say that at the end of my shout out, but I'm glad you did it first. And as a Wisconsinite, you deserve to do it before I do. Anna, my dear friend, how you doing? What'd you think of all that nonsense? And where can we find you?
That was a really amazing experience to have in a game. That was my first time ever playing alongside Cadence, and that was just an absolute delight to be able to do that with you. So thank you for that. As we mentioned at the top of the show, Colin already has a spreadsheet of all of the in-game character fears that I have given him over various games, but it was still great to be able to do that again because you're a great storyteller. And yeah, it was one of those things where they were like, oh, these are the people that you're playing with, and I'm like, yes, we're in such good hands with each other. I'm excited. I'm doing good. I'm probably gonna go do some nice, fun, relaxing activity for the rest of the night. Which, you know, before we do outro type stuff, I know I say this in Discord and in chat all the time when I'm watching the horror games, but everybody, please be extra nice to yourself when we log off and end the stream tonight. Horror games are a lot of fun to watch. They are a lot of fun to play, but please practice taking good care of yourself after it. Do something nice for yourself. Go easy on yourself. It's stressful times out there. Yeah, also make sure that you're getting your ballots and stuff turned in. We do vote by mail in my state, so I voted like over a week ago at this point. But this is really important. Life literally depends on it. So please make sure that you go out and do that and, you know, keep that momentum and organizing and all of the other things. Oh, and big thanks to everybody that donated today. Take this as an org that Charlie reached out to me and was like, "We need to let's pick an organization to donate money to for our Halloween stream," and she let me pick this one. It's something that's really close to my heart. It's something that I have gotten help from them in the past. They're a fantastic organization. So thank you all so much for raising money for this. This actually does really change people's lives. So thank you.
Where can we find you coming up, Anna?
Yeah, where can you find me? I'm pretty much always online. Yeah, drugs are bad. Don't do them. At Nymeria941.
Oh, no, I'm saying plugs. What can you plug?
Oh, I thought you said drugs, and I was like, wait, we already the game is over. The PSA
no, that
has
part
ended.
of the game's over.
Yeah, so you can find me pretty much everywhere on the internet. Nymeria941. I am going to be GMing the historian for the upcoming Flames of Freedom game, which is a powered by Zweihander game that I'm a developer for. That's going to be premiering not this coming Tuesday, but the second Tuesday of November on Encounter Roleplay. I will be your historian for that, and we are going to, if you like your horror with a side of colonial American Gothic tales and Cotton Mather's fever dreams, you are going to love this game. We have a super fantastic cast that was lined up for that, and I cannot wait to share that story with y'all because I got to help work on writing this adventure, so I'm pumped for that. And I also play in Bloody Portrait, which is this Zweihander game on Friday nights at Chromatic Chimera. We are playing all as, I only play dark, depressing stuff. I just like took such a turn from where I started in streaming. Yeah, exactly. So we play as supernatural vampire demon summoning worshipping people in Renaissance Florence. So it's a great time because there's the Medici and then there's the real bloodsuckers of the time. So come check that out on Fridays. It's a lot of fun. I think that's everything. Honestly, if it's not, that's okay.
You need a break. That's fine. Well, this was an absolute pleasure. I love playing with the two of you always. Anna being, Anna, one of my dearest friends, and so fucking good at what you do. And Cadence, getting to know you at I Am Pilgrim, I knew that you could do horror, and you're just so bloody good at it. I love seeing the two of you react, not as people playing a game, not as people trying to win, trying to succeed, but people acting as people in a panicked, anxiety-ridden, terrifying situation and reacting naturally the way people would. And because you just have that beautiful roleplay instinct, both of you, that you don't have to even think too hard about that. You just act. And that's what you want in a horror game. That's what makes them dynamic. That's what makes them fun. And that's what makes them great to be part of and to, I hope, for all of you, watch and listen to. So I absolutely adored everything about this. And I came up with that little twist at the end, right at the end, because I had to find some way to scare you one last time. And I realized I hadn't used that phone sound effect the entire game, so it was time. Right, so thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for donating. Thank you for smashing our donation goal. And it's already been said a million times, but for the love of God, go vote. I am Colin at Colonomicon, where you can find me Twitter, Discord, Twitch. I'm Colonomicon in all of those places. I am the GM here on Encounter Roleplay for Achtung Cthulhu, which starts this Tuesday at 2 o'clock, where we're going to be dealing with elder gods and Nazis. We're hopefully going to be killing Nazis and probably not killing elder gods because that's not really a thing you can do. But we're going to be doing a campaign, a new module called Forest of Fear that takes place at the late part of the war in 1944, when the war is coming to an end, but the Nazis just haven't realized it yet. And how desperate are they? How far will they go in order to try to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat? Well, spoilers, far enough to contact elder gods and work with eldritch horrors. And that's what we're going to be, our little rat tag band of allied investigators is going to be looking into. I also play on Monday nights on Song of the Deep, where I play Bastion the Bard Boy, alongside the Noir Enigma and Savvy Seaworth and Dracu, with our own Lydia GMing. It is I am as proud of that show as I am of virtually anything else I've ever done. I love every second I get to spend on that show. Anna has guested on there playing my sister, which was my favorite episode ever. And it's fantastic. I absolutely adore this show, and which is why I'm spending so much time talking about it, because I'm really just setting up the fact that as soon as we get out of here, you're going to get to see the trailer for it that's going to play as soon as we cut out. So without further ado, I'd like to show that to you all now, and thank you all so much for watching. This has been fantastic and creepy and fun. And of course, before we go, happy Halloween, everybody. Good night, my friends.